You're on the air?
Yeah, I've been watching your show, and you do a really good job and everything. And I have a question, though, for you. And the last couple weeks, you talked about they allegedly endorsed Hillary Clinton as the president. Now you're saying Obama. I was just wanting to know why you changed their opinion about that.
Sure. The reason I changed the reason I was saying Clinton is because Murdoch was backing Clinton. You even see Rush Limbaugh come out and was backing Clinton, in a perverse kind of weird propaganda way. The reason I'm saying Obama is, A, we've seen Zebrev Brzezinski, who's one of the highest level technocrats, coming out more and more vocally behind Obama. And most importantly, and this goes to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, Dr. Joseph Nye is, and I would encourage all of you to start learning about this guy because he's most likely going to be a high-level either national security advisor or Secretary of State or something on that level in the next administration. They've been writing policy reports, okay? And this guy has been running around with all of the top-level trilateral people for the last 6 months, writing blogs, writing reports, chairing commissions. And the central theme of all of these commission reports, of everything that this guy is talking about, is the need to recapture the goodwill of the American people and of the world. And that without utilizing that, a quote that they have is that Machiavelli said it was better to be feared than loved, but in the modern technological communication age, it is necessary to be both to achieve ends. And all of these policy reports talk about the need for someone that can inspire the population, the need for someone to come in the same way that FDR did during the Great Depression, which I found very interesting that they're even talking about that, and inspire the people to embrace the social programs that they want. So I even asked him, because Dr. Nye was here this last week, and one of the questions I asked him in this discussion that he was giving to international study students that I was able to get in on, I said it would seem that Barack Obama would be the one that would be most effective to implement the policies that you are now proposing in all of these reports that you're putting out. And he said, yes, definitely Barack Obama would be the one that would engender the most support. So then you look at the media, you look at the shift in the media coverage of how much more negative it's become for Clinton and positive it's become for Obama. Now look, and I don't like making predictions. And what I try and do is I try and take the information, I try and just look at what the establishment's proposing, what the elite are proposing, and what they're trying to do. And right now, I just do not see McCain or any of that faction being able to inspire people towards these kind of policies. And I really don't even see Clinton because, she is just self-destructing right now. So, that's my thinking.
Okay. I agree with everything you have said about the establishment. And I agree how close everything could come to an end real quickly. And everybody just wants to drive around their little cars and talk on their phone, and they like tomorrow's always going to come, and one day it just might not, and people don't believe you when they tell them that. You think they're crazy, you're nuts, and their day of reckoning is going to come soon, I think.
No, I think you're right. Thanks for the call. The point is the future's not set in stone, okay? The more involved and proactive we become, that is the people become, especially utilizing the decentralized communication networks like Houston Media Source, like the internet, to confront the systems and the reality that the establishment are trying to project onto us. This is literally a battle between different versions of reality. And we have to project our reality against their reality, our information against their information. In the elite's own documents, everything that I was just telling you about that I've read, they constantly acknowledge that the only way to accomplish their objectives is to create a partnership with the people. We have to be partners in building the New World Order. Now, they would have been more than happy if Bush could have just rammed it through our throats with the fascist corporatism that his management team represents. And make no mistake, they've accomplished a great deal. The expansion of militarism, of the panopticon, of the surveillance grid technology is now greater than anything any of us could ever have imagined. But we have had great victories. The fact that we're not already in martial law, the fact that the country has not just completely been destroyed at this point is a miracle. And it has directly come from those that have been willing to lay their time and energy and fortune on the line and defend the country, to take up the great cause that is their birthright and their heritage and defend the nation. But to jump back again to what the caller was just talking about, I do not know the future. Okay? Anything could happen at this point. The elite, the establishment, they aren't in control of everything. They like to pretend they are. But there are numerous X factors that are changing, and constantly the universe is organic. And how we interact with it, one person can change the entire direction of the entire world if they're in the right place at the right time with the right message, in tune with the divine spirit of the universe. And that's, pop culture and art, they've always shown you that. It's the sacrifices of the few. It's the will of the single individual that goes out and projects their desire into the universe. And the problem is the establishment are very, very organized. I mean, what you pretty much have is the old world aristocracy in conjunction with the robber barons at the end of the 1800s began to coalesce into a corporate type system with a board of directors who then created subdirectorates and subdirectorates and subdirectorates, but are highly organized at the top to implement policy that causes the whole society to move in specific directions. It's just that simple. There's no great magic or mystery about it. It's run like a giant corporation, and the only difference between the New World aristocracy and the Old World aristocracy is now it's not just bloodlines anymore. They literally promote from the serfs and peasants the most ruthless, cold-blooded, willing and desiring for power. I mean, I don't understand how that's such some great voodoo mystery that people just can't grasp. That it's some X-Factor conspiracy or X-Files conspiracy when the whole nature of history is based on that kind of behavior. So, but again, to address what the caller was saying, I firmly believe that only a socialistic democrat can implement the policies and engender the kind of public support needed to move further into the new order. And it's going to be the new order with a smiley face on it. It'll be socialism, but it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. And that's how they're going to channel your fear and your anger at Bush and about everything that's happening around you, the loss of your job, the destruction of your future. It's the New Deal. An iPod in every wallet and a flashy car in every driveway. And it doesn't matter if you have no freedom, if the government owns your house, if you have social workers coming to check up on you and make sure that you deserve your payment, you deserve your check. But see, that's how they manage us. It's like a mule. You can whip a mule and whip a mule, and you can get him to work a long time, but after a while, that mule is just going to stop. And no matter how much you whip it, it's just going to stand there. But see, that's when you get the carrot on the stick out and put it in front of its face, and that mule is going to walk until it dies because it's so desperate for the affection or the sustenance that it needs. It's operant conditioning. It's behavior modification. Scientific dictatorship. The scientific application of behavioral conditioning on a mass scale. And until we can recognize that, until we can see it for what it is, and understand that Bush is a lightning rod, that his policy directives of how policy is implemented, you're meant to hate it. You're meant to be disgusted by it by now. Because now they throw him into the garbage and they bring Barack Obama. Literally, Barack Obama is Bush inverted. And I don't just mean that he's black and Bush is white. I mean everything about him is the exact opposite of George Bush. And that was one of the first things that really clued me in to the possibility of how effective he would be.